This is my watershed case study. I'm Sarah McGlumpy, and this is for NRE 425. So the watershed that I chose to do my report on was the Wheeling Creek watershed. It's really close to where I grew up, and there's a big part of me growing up spending a lot of time in the Wheeling Creek itself. So the location goes through West Virginia and Pennsylvania. It starts in Ohio County and makes its way down through Marshall and then across state lines into Greene and Washington County. Some of the major waterways you can see on the map there are Wheeling Creek, Middle Wheeling Creek, and Low Fork. There's a couple other ones on there as well, but those are just the three major ones. As far as the drainage area goes, it all leads back into the Ohio River right by the Wheeling dot up on that map as well. As far as land uses, it is used as a public water supply. It's largely used by residents recreationally, so a lot of people go fishing or kayaking, and it has many industrial uses just along Wheeling Creek itself. I found out this information when I was doing my research for my TMDL report, that there are 12 public water supply facilities, 3 large mining facilities, 2 coal facilities, 2 industrial facilities, and then 1 facility of each chemicals, petroleum, and timber. And then those are just 3 different pictures of Wheeling Creek itself. As far as the watershed uses as a whole, it's pretty much the same, just on a larger scale. So it's also used as public water supply. It also has the same industrial uses, just over a larger area. The applicable water criteria is that a lot of people found fecal coliform and other contaminants in the water, which a lot of people look at sewage overflows or improper disposal of sewage to think for that, or for the other contaminants, it usually leads to mining or acid mine drainage. The 303D listing, it's listed under Wheeling Creek, so the parameters for that are, it was listed as conditions not allowed under biological terms. The reach, unfortunately, is the entire length, which adds up to be about 25 miles. The actual impaired area is 1.5 miles long, and the major source is mining. So the data available for creating the TMDL, they used multiple different government sources. So among those were the DNR, the U.S. Census Bureau, the USGS, the DEP. There was a ton of them in that table, and it was just too long to even put on the slide, but it is listed in my references on the first reference under table 3.2. As far as the method of creating the TMDL, they used the Mining Data Analysis System method. So the MDAS was developed specifically for TMDL application in West Virginia to facilitate large-scale, data-intensive watershed modeling applications. And the MDAS is used to simulate watershed hydrology and pollutant transport, as well as stream hydraulics and in-stream water quality. So both of these were found in the DEP's website. In another report, I also found that the mining data analysis system is used to represent linkage between pollutant sources and in-stream responses for fecal coliform bacteria, iron, manganese, aluminum, and chloride, which are all big problems along Wheeling Creek. As far as recommendations from the TMDL, under their applications, they stated reducing loading contributions and impaired headwaters, as far as like handling the other contaminants, and the effluents from all NPDES permitted sewage treatment plants were set at the permit limit. So I chose to use data and reports from the Biological and Water Quality Study of the Wheeling Creek Watershed, published by the EPA. And it stated that out of 17 sites collected all across the watershed at different points, 4 sites were fully meeting the designated aquatic life use, 8 were in partial attainment, and then 5 were just in complete non-attainment. And again, from the same study, the overall biological community among like the main part of Wheeling Creek was fair to good, but only 1 site out of the 8 locations was actually meeting the recommended aquatic life use designation, but a lot of the other locations were very close to meeting it. As far as the NPDES permits, I found a total of 20. You can see it a little bit. It's kind of a faint line, but the creek starts up in Wheeling and then makes its way down as it crosses the Marshall County line, and starts to go off to the lower right corner down there. Out of those 20, 16 of them were industrial, 3 were attributed to sewage, and then 1 was attributed to a 401 certification. And these are my sources.